Seeking Ikigai, the joy that life brings.
The 12 Favourite Problems concept. In October 2023, I was part of Cohort 11 of the Rite of Passage programme. So much more than an intensive online training course. It was also a community of very motivated and motivating individuals. I was inspired and pushed out of my comfort zone in equal measures. There I was introduced to the 12 Favourite Problems concept, and it hugely resonated with me. This concept of exploring a set of questions that you keep coming back to, questions so deep that you could ponder them forever without getting to an end point or becoming bored, so that you can really get deep into the whys and wherefores and start to understand and articulate it in only the way that you can. We were recommended to have a mix of micro-level ones, things that are relevant to your own personal life, and also some macro-level ones, things that are about society and the wider world or universe. We were only given about 5 minutes from memory, and I managed to write down 7 in that time. Of course, I went back to finish the list once it became clear that was our first assignment. This concept comes from renowned physicist Richard Feynman, and he said, "You have to keep a dozen of your favourite problems constantly present in your mind, although by and large they will lay in a dormant state. Every time you hear a new trick or a new result, test it against each of your 12 problems to see whether it helps. Every once in a while there'll be a hit, and people will say, 'How did he do it? He must be a genius.'" So I'm going to read aloud from my initial brain dump without too much editing. I will need to tidy up this list and write about each of the topics in turn, and again, and again. And through that process, I can hone the way I've written them to get closer to what it is I'm really trying to explore. Number 1, how do we accelerate gender equality? And why am I so scared to talk or write about this? Why do I hear stories from much younger colleagues about men in positions of power being inappropriate? How is that still happening? How do we correct without also harming our young boys or making them more likely to become incels? Number 2, why are we trying to stamp out curiosity and creativity and individuality in our children at such a young age? What is school really there for? Not for childcare and a factory to raise well-behaved capitalist fodder, surely. How do we help them on a path of abundance, or at least one that they're happier to give up at least 8 hours a day for? Number 3, what needs to change in the structure of most people's working lives as society changes, especially with the AI and climate change things we need to do differently? Number 4, how do I build up my confidence and speak up without fear? Number 5, what's the best structure for governing both small jurisdictions and also bigger countries and moving forward the global position? How do we get people engaged in politics? Number 6, how do we stop social media making people more divided and more negative? Number 7, what does a world with TikTok and similar methods of consumption do for people's attention spans, their ability to learn, and their mental health? Number 8, is this evidence about ultra-processed food looking valid? And if so, why on earth aren't more people outraged? And why are food manufacturers able to package and sell foods that are harming us? Number 9, how do I truly heal from experiences that have led me to burnout in the past? How do I make peace with injustices done without getting bitter or allowing negativity to hold me back? Number 10, how do I reconcile my love of tech generally and the industry I typically am involved in with my desire for a circular economy, and that we need to get to net zero much more quickly than we are so far? Number 11. How do I find my Ikigai? And how do I show others how to do it efficiently for them too? How could we possibly translate that into something that resonates better with young people, especially at times when they're choosing options? Really help them thrive. And number 12, what process do I go through to refine these questions, to make sure that they're really my important 12 that I can work on, that I can always come back to, and I want to get really deep into? It makes sense to me that this will work as a component of finding my voice, learning what could be my Ikigai too, because these burning questions very much relate to the principle of what the world needs. Very much a key part of that. I am a hugely curious person. I love reading as a way to scratch that itch. Of course, I've asked many questions over the years, but I know these 12, or variations of them, are topics that I will definitely still be interested in many years from now. They're definitely fundamental to who I am as a person right now. They give me a sense of where I would like to get to, both for myself and for society as a whole. I'm looking forward to working through this exercise. I'm looking forward to thinking about the topics more deeply in the coming weeks, months and years, because I am definitely committed to this path. What questions keep you up at night? I am Sarah, still seeking Ikigai. Thank you so much for watching.